Welcome back to the Tennessee Frugal Craftsman. This is the third installment, I think, for the laundry room. This is my section of cabinets that are over the storage unit. Check out my last video on that, or sorry, the folding table area. So this is a double section of drawer shelves. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, and of course the top. I have already made the boxes, as you can see, and screwed them to the wall. The boxes are all made out of glued up poplar, and so I haven't put the finished coats on them yet, but all glued up poplar. And the shelving, some of them were actually, I had 11-inch wide poplar or 12-inch wide poplar, so I just made it out of the one piece. So this is approximately 6 feet across, so these are about 3-foot boxes. And what I did is I put a 1/4-inch plywood in the back, just as cheap plywood. I painted it with a roller before I put everything together. It's a lot easier to paint it before, at least get a couple coats on it before you put it together, and then you just have to do touch-ups. But I've got everything put it together in 2 boxes so I could handle it. So it's put together here and screwed together, as you can see here, with 1 1/4 screws, cabinet screws. At the very top, I put in a 3-inch strap. So it wasn't just the 1/4-inch I was screwing through, I was actually got 1 inch of wood, and they're going directly into the studs. And so I've got 3 screws up at the top, and then at the bottom I put another rail. Everything's screwed up through the bottom. The top, it's screwed down to the top, and then into the same studs. So cabinets are not going to go anywhere with those double rails or screw rails on there. Once I got it up there, of course you're going to see all the raw ends of the wood underneath, and I hate that look. And so in all my cabinetry, what I do is I take a piece of 1/4-inch, and as you can see, I glue it to the bottoms of the cabinets. So that gives me a nice finished edge back against the wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the face pieces on. And so I'm going to put on style, 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 and then start putting in my rails. And so I'll bring you back when I get the next step on, which is the styles. And these styles will come right down against this 1/4-inch, which I left long, so I could trim this off or belt sand it off later. The styles will come right down against here, and I'll show you how I'm going to finish that off. So I'll be back. Okay, got the rails all on, or the styles all on. I decided to put middle ones because that's about 33-inch span. And if you put anything heavy on there, I didn't want the shelves to sag over time. So this stabilized them a lot. And on this section, I had to notch around. There's going to be another shelving unit over here, which is another video. So I had to notch around that. So that took a little bit of time. There's a couple of those that needed to go in, but we are now ready to put the rails. I'm going to put the bottom rail on and come back, and I'll show you how I'm going to trim this off. Okay, I put the bottom pieces on. This is about 1 inch, so there's just a little bit of a lip here, about 1/4 inch or so. But the issue is I've got this 1/4-inch that's down below it that's sealing, you know, the 2 cabinets together, so you get that nice smooth look. So I've designed been doing this for a while, and so I designed a piece of molding, and it's going to go back in underneath the cabinet. It's going to cover the 1/4 inch and then go up on that rail I just built. That's why I nailed down low, and I've angled it back about probably 6 degrees, so I get a nice sharp edge. And so it's going to set on just like that. Now obviously I've got a belt sand. This is a little out a little bit, so I've got a belt set that off, but that's going to set on just like that. And then the doors will actually, when they're on, they're just past that little bit of a roll. So I've just rounded this over because beading is kind of my design here in this house. So I will get some of this on and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. I made up these moldings, I think when I was showing the last section, but I painted in next to the wall so I don't have to do that. So I did it before I put them on. So I waited for a little bit for those to dry. But while I was waiting, I put the 3-inch or 3¼ inch blocks across the top. Filled all of those, and we got this on now. So this is the look that you get. Just kind of look down across it and look down and underneath of it. You get that nice smooth finish. When you paint it, it looks like all one cabinet, no butt joints anywhere. And so the last thing I need to do before doing doors is I've got to put on some type of a face on these shelves. Now technically, because they're solid, I could sand them and just leave them that way. But I'm thinking I may go ahead and do something with it. I'm not exactly sure. I'll decide here and I'll be back. Well, it is the next day, and I went ahead before I went home last night, put the top design on, which is just a 3¼ inch piece screwed back down in on top of the cabinets up there, sticking out 1.5 inches with a round on it. What that is. And so now I'm debating on whether to put something like that, put maybe a cove, I'm not sure, or just to caulk it. I know I've got some areas that, you know, these styles were a little short because I was thinking I was going to put a molding up there. So yeah, I need to make that decision. I also decided just to go ahead and sand these around the edges slightly, just ease them a bit, and then I'll paint. So we are getting pretty close to framing doors. And so that's my next step. And I'll be back. Okay. I can't remember where I left off on my last video, but I think I had done the top rail and the bottom rail. I have since done all of the painting of it. Filled all the nail heads, painted everything. And I've also built the 2 shelves over the washer dryer. There's still a middle support that I haven't put in yet. But I'm getting ready to put cabinet doors on. I made myself some cabinet doors here out of poplar. Painted them 3 coats. Took them over to my friends and drilled them out for concealed hinges. So let's put a door on and see what they look like. I'll be back. Okay, well, I'll put the first one on. These are soft close self or concealed hinges. Not too bad. Not too bad overall. You have about 105 degree opening. Let's do some more. Okay, cabinet doors are on. I've seen a lot worse. The only issues that I'm really having, I've just got to do a little bit of adjustments. Is there's a little bit of a space up there, and there's a little bit of a space down here, but these other ones, you know, are not bad overall. There is some adjustment on them, and this second one is the best. There is some adjustment on them, but not a lot. I mean, up and down there's some. But yeah, so I'm going to put the knobs on, make the final few adjustments, and I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, we are complete. That's said, other than a few touch-ups on paint. We've got storage. This comes back, it doesn't touch this unit or that shelving unit there. And like I said, they're soft close, so I just got to put the felt bumpers on them when I get them. And there you have it. Custom set of shaker style cabinets. You know, if my kids were taller, I'd put my knobs up here in the center. But alas, I'd be the only one, and maybe my wife be the only ones be able to reach them. So they're down low. But the balance, obviously, I like them up in the middle. But it is what it is. Appreciate you joining me for that set of cabinets that are now complete. And then come out here into this section, which is my workroom. It's like night and day. Anyway, one step at a time, one day at a time. If you would, please like and subscribe. Stick with me. We have got a lot more to go, as you can tell, based upon everything that needs to be done in the house. But we're doing one room at a time. So, till next time, as always, you have a great day.